You feed it in. It stays against the fence. Even if you feed it in crooked, it locks it against the fence and feeds it in. Table saw rollers here. This is your simulated table saw roof fence. This is my radial arm saw, but this is just simulated. So you take your piece of wood and you run it in. Here's where the blade would be. You run it through. Notice I'm not pushing over here because the rollers are keeping it along the fence. Special sound effects there. Tries to kick back. This roller stops it. No kicking back. Goes back far enough to relieve the blade. Maybe going into the blade and kicks back. It kicks back a little bit to relieve the blade. This roller stops it. So here's the clamp to the fence, and this has 2 bolts on it, so this could be swiveled this way. I have it swiveled in about 5 degrees to keep the roller going that way. This is the pawl that you put in for anti-kickback, and here you can adjust the downward pressure of the roller. So that's basically the operation of it. You can see how it locks onto the fence there, and you can see the angle adjust. This is the radial arm saw set up for a rip. The blade's right here. I have it up just to show you how it would pass through. The blade would be spinning and all the guards are set up. Now you notice I have these 2 pieces of springy steel here which will hold it against the fence. As I push it in, they hold it against the fence, and I push it through, and it stays right there until the cut's finished. Another take here, you see the springy things are there. This is a piece of 1x12, and as it goes in, it gets pressed against the fence, and I can guide it through, and it keeps locked against the fence until the finished cut's finished right about there. Okay, this is the setup, so we'd be ripping along here, and this one holds it against the fence, and as it's going in, that one picks up and holds it against the fence. Now the disadvantage of this is that this one may tend to close up the kerf, so you have to have your kerf thing down for that. Okay, we'll do a real rip for you here on the radial arm saw. It's set up into its narrow rip position. See the blade down over there, the guard over here. It's set up for about a 1/2 inch rip. I have the things to keep it against the fence right over here. Handy push stick ready. So I'll push this in. It'll go under this guard. This sort of keeps it down. I could put that down all the way, but I'll keep it a little bit up. And let's see what happens here. There's the rip. A couple of hang-ups there. The guard fell down and dug into the wood. Over here you saw this fall down and dig into the wood, so I adjusted it back up. I didn't have it tight enough. So that's a rip with a radial arm saw. The table saw would just have the blade coming up instead of going down. So let's try this again. Here's the face that I just cut. I will put that against the fence and make a cut. strip of wood cut. So there's no magic to it. Don't need $60,000 worth of clamps. These springy steel things. Keep it down there. I guess I could put the rollers on. Show you how those work, but I only use that for bigger pieces. Okay, let's see what we can do for you here. Remember that strip I did? I'm going to try to split it in half for you. Let's try that. So we'll feed it in over here. Everything's okay. I guess I'm going to put this lower. And everything looks like it's set up. Here's hoping my fingers stay intact. So let's move this out like that. Well, 2 strips. That bucket of jumping was the wood splitting out as the blade tore into it. You can almost expect that on the end if for a thin piece of wood. But I stayed with it, and they're almost in half. You can see where I stopped and started, but one side's real nice. Oh, that's the side that was out. So that's how you do it. Have fun.